there was a knight, as Titus Livius tells, called Virginius, full of honor and nobility, strong in friends and wealth.
He had one daughter by his wife, and never another child. The maiden was fair and of excellent beauty above every creature, for nature had wrought her with singular diligence, and so excellently as though she would say, "Lo, our nature, when I wish, can thus form colour a creature. Who can imitate me? Not Pygmalion, even if he may forge and hammer or carve and paint forever. And dare I swear that Apelles and Zeuxias would toil in vain if they presumed to carve or paint, forge or hammer, and counterfeit me.
For he that is the chief shaper has made his vicar general to form and paint earthly creatures just as I wish. And each thing under the waxing and waning moon is in my care. As I ask counsel of none, my lord and I are in full accord, and in honor of him I made her. As I make all of my other creatures, whatever the hue or form, thus it seems to me, nature would say. 29.
This maiden, in whom nature took such joy, was just 14 years old. Just as she paints a lily white and a rose red, so upon the gracious limbs of this noble creature before she was born did nature paint these colors where such colors should be. And Phoebus did dye her great tresses is similar fashion to the streams of his burning heat. And if her beauty was excellent, 1,000-fold more was she virtuous. In her there lacked no quality that discerning people can praise. She was chaste as well in spirit as in body, for which reason she bloomed in virginity with all humility and abstinence, temperance and patience, and with moderation in her bearing and adornment. She was ever discreet in replying, though I dare to say she was as wise as Pallas, and her speech was womanly and direct. She used no artificial terms to appear wise. She spoke according to her degree, and all her words, great and small, were full of virtue and good breeding. She was modest, with a young maiden's modesty, constant in heart, and at all times to drive out sloth. Bacchus had no mastery over her mouth, for wine and young foster Venus, as fire when men cast oil or grease in it. For virtue itself, and not by any constraint, she often pretended to be sick, to flee company where folly was likely to be talked about, as at feasts and revels and dances that might be occasions for wantonness. Such things make children too soon mature and bold, which has always been perilous. All too soon may the child learn to be bold when she has become a wife. She was a young gal, full of life. Beauty is innocence, am I right? But with all the beauty in the world, it don't mean a thing. There will always be evil people lingering. She went to a temple, a man watched her from afar. He wasn't sitting in no futuristic fancy car. He was a judge, evil as a rat. He decided he was gonna own her. Simple as that.
His maid shall be mine in spite of any man, he said, as he ran to his evil accomplish. They agreed, making her theirs would be as easy as reading a compass. They decided they would take her to court with the father the knight into the fort, framing the knight for kidnapping his own daughter. The man said she used to be his slave and that he had bought her. So the judge took the knight's daughter away from him, and in his brain there was a mighty grin.
In the end, the judge and Claudius had won her. The daughter came home to her father for the last time. He said, "Virginia, there are two ways, death or shame. Thou must end your life, or I will be accused and blamed." So he chopped off his own daughter's head. Her body dropped dead. He brought her head to the judge to show that he wouldn't budge. The town caught on that it was Claudius and Appius to blame. So they were all slain.
Therefore, I counsel you, receive this warning, forsake sin before sin will forsake you.
And here ends the physician's tale.